David Bates. I have a question about Scientology that came up after your critical Q&A number 145 that I just watched. It was about people and disabilities. I took a bullet through my knee in Vietnam in '69, which took out my kneecap and left me somewhat disabled. According to Scientology, did I want this bullet to hit me or pull it in or whatever they call it? I am curious as I have noticed some strange happenings at my local VFW and American Legion with people wanting to talk about PTSD and Narconon. I know it is a Scientology-run thing and I want to help protect my fellow brothers. Knowing what they think about my wound would help me to deal with it. Wow. Okay, well, thank you for this question, and yeah, let me address this head on. I don't have the direct quote here, and I didn't look it up, but there is a quote Hubbard writes about responsibility. It comes from a book called Advanced Procedure and Axioms, which he wrote, I think, in 1953, and 52, I think it was late 52, sorry. And in that book, he says that you are responsible for every single thing that ever happened to you. In fact, you're responsible for everything that happened anywhere at any time to anyone. So, he makes the point in the book about how you're responsible for someone getting shot in a battlefield somewhere that you've never been, in some country you've never been in, right? And you're, that the soldier there is responsible for getting shot. He's also responsible for the selective service and for the war and for everything about it, right? So that's kind of the bottom line position with Scientology, is that anything that happens to you, it's on you, bud, okay? That is very, very clear in Hubbard's scriptures, and you can, or writings, I should say. I really shouldn't call them scriptures. Anyway, in Hubbard's writings, he talks about that. And that is the attitude in Scientology. So as far as, your situation, you are responsible for being there. You are responsible for getting shot because you were there, if for no other reason. And you're responsible for how you go about dealing with that, right? And of course, that's Scientology. That's not me talking, okay? I don't think those things, but that's what I used to think when I was in Scientology. So the fact that they are promoting Narconon to you guys at the, to the veterans really bothers me because you guys should stay as far away from that as you can. There's another video I made about the purification rundown, which is just total pseudoscience. I think that's called the pseudoscience of the purification rundown or something. You can look it up on my channel here, and that'll tell you everything you need to know about the efficacy and usefulness of Scientology's Narconon program, because that purification rundown is the heart of it. And you don't want anything to do with that. It is medically dangerous and even potentially fatal. So that's what I want to say about that. But as far as arguing against, disabilities, yeah, Scientology takes a very dim view on that. Now, they're going to tell you other things, right? They're not going to tell you, they're not going to admit to this in a social situation or when they're trying to make good with you guys or trying to, get into the VA or something, right, with this Narconon program. They're not going to admit these things up front. They're not going to look at you and say, oh, you're responsible for that, bud, right? You're not going to hear that, right? You got to dig into the books to find the beliefs and Hubbard's books, right? But you can be sure that is what they think. All right. They also don't admit to being, homophobic, but believe me, they are. So you're going to hear all kinds of social songs and dance about how, you guys got a bum rap and a bum deal, and they're just there to help you guys. And, you should really take part in this program because it's such a good thing for you. And those, some of those drugs that they're giving you are not so good, right? Well, maybe some of those drugs they're giving you aren't truly so good. And maybe other drugs that they're giving you are just what you need. But just because they might be right about a couple things doesn't mean they're right about this, okay? So I want to be clear about that, right? They might make a few good points in their sales pitch, but that doesn't mean that the product they're selling is any good. It is very, very bad. All right. I think I made my point there. If you have any other questions about this or any other part of their sales pitch or whatever else is going on there, please feel free to leave comments for me about this, and I will take them up in future episodes because I definitely want to help in any way I can to make sure that Scientology is not making inroads into the VA or Veterans Aid in any way.